Inflation, again, is an example of how economics is woefully inept. Or it's woefully ineptly taught in this country. Well, Jim, I'm glad you called. And reminding us all of the tribute to me done by John Stossel on ABC last Thursday night. We'll be back.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
I love Snapple Raspberry Iced Tea. That's what got me started in the vending business. Call Exclusive Vending at 800-592-0770. Exclusive gets your vending route going. You restock Pepsi Lipton Iced Tea, Ocean Spray Juice, Snapple. Call us at 800-592-0770. Invest less than $8,000. Someone Snapple Lemon Iced Tea, Raspberry Iced Tea, and Kiwi Strawberry Cocktail. Others ask for Pepsi Lipton, Lemon and Raspberry Iced Teas, Ocean Spray Juice. They fly out of the machine. Your own exclusive vending route. The cash jumps right into your pocket. Call us at 800-592-0770. Again, 800-592-0770. This vending offer is only through Exclusive Vending, Inc., not from Snapple Beverage Corp. Snapple is the exclusive trademark of Snapple Beverage Corp. They have no connection with this business opportunity.
Monk's Furniture Warehouse in LaGrange has set the standard for saving, selection, and satisfaction. The Warehouse Way for over 10 years. From all over eastern North Carolina, customers save every day at Monk's Furniture Warehouse.
You come in, I think you're going to be pleased with the down-home atmosphere that we have there. We've been here 10 years because of the customers that we have. We really appreciate that, and that's what made us successful.
Even after the sale, satisfaction is still the goal, with service from the store that saves you more the Warehouse Way every day. Monk's Furniture Warehouse.
We give good service on our product. If one of our customers has a problem, we want to know about it. When we find out about it, we're going to get them satisfied and get that product taken care of for them.
Monk's Furniture Warehouse in LaGrange. They thank you for your continued patronage for the next 10 years.
And I really want to extend a great appreciation to them for what they've done for us for the past 10 years.
Monk's Furniture Warehouse, Highway 70 between Goldsboro and Kinston at Little Baltimore.
AIM Electronics is doing it again. 10 to 50% off electronics like JVC, Panasonic, Techniques, Craig, and Kicker. The biggest sale of the year. This week only. And be sure to register to win a JVC car CD player, a Techniques home stereo receiver, a Craig portable CD player, or a pair of Kicker 10-inch woofers. The Scratch and Dent sale, April 25th through the 29th only at AIM Electronics, 411 East Ash Street in Goldsboro. Some merchandise factory reconditioned.
For a quarter of a century, Village Inn Pizza of Goldsboro is the name you turn to for great pizza and great value. This month, the manager's special is 2 medium pizzas with cheese plus 1 topping of your choice for only $7.99. You heard it right. I said 2 pizzas for only $7.99. And don't forget, the Village Inn Pizza still serves their all-you-can-eat buffet 7 days a week for both lunch and dinner. The Village Inn Pizza Parlor, where pizza is always in good taste.
To start off each show with, I'll tell you why. We want to just make sure that we start getting in line before the government starts coming after us. Pretty soon they're going to try to warn the people that listen to certain things on the radio at certain times of day. It could be harmful to your health, especially if you're doing certain things. And we can maybe keep them at bay if we have our own warning label. We'll work on that. Here is Larry in Palm Bay, Florida. You're next on the Rush Limbaugh program.
Hi, Rush.
Hi.
I'm kind of nervous.
No need to be,
I tried to get you so many times, I couldn't believe I got through today.
Glad you did.
Mega dittos from Palm Bay and all of Florida, and we're drinking plenty of your juice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Listen, in fact, this morning, I just a little bit well, first of all, you know that you were talking about popcorn?
Yeah.
My dad, he lived till age 93. He ate hamburgers as often as he could. At 93, he was munching away on potato chips at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it didn't seem to clog his arteries.
Yeah, so much of this stuff is hereditary.
And I could think back of the cranberry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that, the cranberry scare?
Yeah,
it was going to give you cancer, and
I don't remember that.
They had that. It was.
When was that?
Oh God, maybe in the 60s or
60s.
Yeah. But I was wondering this morning, I was going to ask you a question. I was thinking of going to the library. When did all of this start with the government taking away your liberties? I know, like in World War II, you weren't allowed to do certain things. Okay. I was a kid then, about, 9 years old, but they could get
Well,
away
it began as soon as the government was established.
Well, I'm talking about getting away with it, and people just sort of like they are today, they don't seem to care.
Well,
a lot of people.
I'll tell you, this would be a tough thing to pinpoint. Everybody is going to have their own answer to this, but I'll tell you when I think it began. The modern era of this encroachment began in 1913 when they passed an amendment to the Constitution allowing them to tax income and thereby begin the process of wealth redistribution. Because I think money is at the root of all things, as I've said to you. And I know others, you may go back to the Civil War with Lincoln suspending habeas corpus, or the era of slavery. Everybody can have their own beginning point for this. But even with that, even today, there is a clear choice that voters can make between parties as to which party will encroach the least, as to which ideology encroaches the least in individual liberties. There's no question that conservatism, libertarianism, are far less intrusive in the individual lives of Americans than liberalism. Liberalism...
No billboards, no signs of civilization. You panic. You hear ringing in your ears. No, it's your Sprint cellular phone. But how did anyone ever find you? Easy. You chose the one cellular company in town, the only one that has mobile link. And now that you have Sprint cellular, your phone has a sense of direction, even if you don't. In fact, you can have your calls track you down just about anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, even way out here, where the red dust kisses your wingtips. Truth is, Sprint Cellular's mobile link network makes it easier to be there now, even if there is, say about 100 miles due west, or is that due east?
Why wait for the other guys to catch up? Be there now with Sprint Cellular, featuring quality Motorola phones. Call 778-0204.
HB Systems at 2902 Central Heights Road in the Brent King Building is Goldsboro's coast-to-coast computer operation with complete business systems, hardware, and software. They offer installations all across the USA. HB Systems offers custom software design and programming, training and support, as well as networking or standalone operations. These systems are custom designed for your business, whether you operate a one-person business or a large business. They know computers. HB Systems, 2902 Central Heights Road, Goldsboro. Call 778-9795.
Have you got spring fever for a new car or truck? See Leith Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle and Leith Dodge Isuzu for big savings on 94 Dodge Ram pickups, automatic, AC, cassette, and more. Only $238 per month. 1994 Dodge Sport pickups, V6, automatic, AC, and only $219 per month. For complete details, see Leith Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle and Leith Dodge Isuzu, Highway 70 West, Goldsboro. Payments based on 20% down, tax and tags, and 138 doc fee extra.
For one call here, I think, prior to the end of the hour. This is David in Durham, North Carolina. Hello.
Hello, Rush. Megadettos from Durham, the city of Medicine, the home of Duke University, the university that refused the Nixon Library.
Yes, that's right. I'd forgotten that.
Yes. I was just wondering if you saw or had a chance to hear about the CNN program last night, Crossfire, with Michael Kinsley and Mr. Novak and Alexander Haig.
No, I missed it. I was going over some blueprints last night.
Yeah. It was really... Michael Kinsley was really disrespectful, showed no respect at all, or gave Mr. Nixon no credit at all for any accomplishments. And he was smiling throughout the entire show, and I think at the end his comment was, well, we don't have Nixon to kick around anymore. And it was really, just to watch it was really really upsetting and disgraceful, I think, on his part.
Sounds a little disrespectful, too.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, Kinsley's just playing a role in that show. The producers of that show every night have to remember. Now, remember, Michael, you're supposed to be this fire-breathing liberal, always be arguing with somebody.
Right.
You've got to take a certain position. Michael, you know, he's just an entertainer.
Right.
Michael Kinsley, he doesn't really believe all this stuff. He's just making all this stuff up to try to get the reaction out of you that he got. Michael Kinsley will say whatever he has to say to get this kind of reaction. Don't for a minute think that there's anything substantive to him. I mean, he's just an entertainer. He's on an entertaining argument show. So, and he got you. I'd be bigger. Don't let it bother you. He won if you're reacting that way. He's just an entertainer.
What's even better than the thrill of a new car? How about a new car that comes with a free vacation? Courtesy in Goldsboro gives you just that, a free vacation getaway for two with the purchase of any new Honda. Choose from the sporty Del Sol, the stylish Prelude, or the Accord, Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year. And no matter which one you choose, you can choose the getaway vacation you want to Hilton Head, Myrtle Beach, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, or the Great Smokies. Stay for 3 days and 2 nights in deluxe accommodations, compliments of Courtesy in Goldsboro, your no-hassle Buick, GMC truck, and Honda dealer. Every Honda we have is marked right up front with our bottom line lowest price. No negotiating over price, no hassle, just the best price every time. And now at Courtesy in Goldsboro, a free vacation getaway with the purchase of any new Honda. Hurry, this free vacation offer ends Saturday, April 30th. Courtesy in Goldsboro on Highway 70 bypass, your no-hassle Buick, GMC truck, and Honda dealer.
WGBR, Goldsboro's very own.
From ABC News, I'm John Belmont. Sources tell ABC's Bob Zelnick alleged spy Aldrich Ames has now agreed to plead guilty to spying for Russia at the CIA in exchange for life in prison with no chance of parole. The first day of South Africa's historic all-race elections is well underway with no violence but some logistical problems at the polling places, so the polls will be open just a bit late tonight. There's so much damage from last night's Texas tornado that officials around Lancaster aren't sure how many are dead. They can only confirm 3, down from the earlier report of 7 fatalities. President Clinton has ruled out extra taxes to pay for welfare reform. That's the word from the White House today. Other news, the Supreme Court says the 1991 Civil Rights Law can't be made retroactive. That means it does not apply to thousands of old cases. Spring is here, even though it's snowing like the middle of winter in North Dakota today. And the Alabama legislature is opening voting season by passing the first bill in the nation making voters take a driving test.
Boats don't have brakes like cars, and out there on the water, boats don't travel in marked lanes in an orderly fashion like they do on the highway. So
Alabama Conservation Commissioner Charlie Grimsley says the sad thing is this legislation happened only after 3 children were killed in 2 state boating accidents last summer.
It's a shame that it took a tragedy to focus the attention on this issue, but again, over the past 10 years, there have been over 300 deaths on Alabama waterways, 300 family tragedies.
Alabama Governor Jim Folsom says he will sign the boat driver's test into law. Roseanne Arnold's divorce lawyer today denies he filed any paperwork that he knew was not true when he submitted court documents saying the actress suffered from battered wife syndrome. Roseanne now says she was not beaten by Tom Arnold. The couple is trying to make up. You're listening to ABC News.
Mountain bikers, Dave and Carly, you got a Grand Am Sports sedan because it's so exciting and fun, right? Well, that's half the story. Once you felt Grand Am's powerful V6 and sports suspension, you were sold.
But that's not the only reason we bought a Grand Am.
Pardon me? Well, an airbag and analog brakes were standard, and it cost way less than the Accord and Camry we looked at.
And talk about convenience. Grand Am's got more cup holders, glove boxes, and storage.
But what about all the excitement? I mean, shouldn't you be driving? What a great idea. The new Grand Am Sports sedan, driving excitement by Pontiac.
Always wear safety belts, even with airbags.
Have you ever seen a dirty carpet at Boston's Royal Sonesta, the Omni Royal Orleans, or Chicago's Sheraton Plaza? Of course not, because world-class hotels use the lightest weight, heaviest cleaning vacuum they can buy, mine. I'm David Orrick, inviting you to try my 8-pound Orrick XL upright in your own home before you buy it. Call 1-800-989-4200 for a free brochure. That's 1-800-989-4200. Nobody else makes an offer like this because nobody else makes a vacuum like this.
The plane that flew him home after his resignation as president is taking Richard Nixon to Southern California one more time today. Debbie Venetra showed up to see off Mr. Nixon's flag-draped coffin this morning at Stewart Air National Guard Base in Newburgh, New York.
Even though he had struggles, and everybody knows about Watergate, I think that what he overcame, especially since he left the presidency, and to come back and to be the statesman that he was and to go around, he helped our country even after he was president.
The former president's body will lie in repose through the night, letting the public pay its final respects at the Nixon Library and birthplace in Yorba Linda, California. Sources say a final plea bargain deal has now been cut in the spy case of former CIA employee Aldrich Ames, one that will let his wife out after a few years to take care of their young son. ABC's Bob Zelnick reports.
Under the deal reached today, Aldrich Ames will plead guilty to an indictment charging him with espionage and has agreed to accept a life sentence with no possibility of parole. His wife Rosario will plead guilty to a lesser espionage information, carrying a maximum term of 6 years imprisonment. Ames has agreed to cooperate fully with the CIA, which is trying to learn all that he told the Russians and anything he might have learned about Russian or East European spy operations.
ABC's Bob Zelnick. Evander Holyfield reportedly has fought his last fight. An Atlanta TV station says he'll retire from the ring this hour because of a pre-existing heart condition. This is ABC News.
The great American lawn. It can be a source of pride, enjoyment, and, of course,
weeds.
Yes, frustration. Luckily, there's Ortho Weed Be Gone.
Weed Be who?
Weed Be Gone gets rid of all kinds of weeds without burning your lawn. Ortho Weed Be Gone for a lovely weed-free lawn.
Yes, lovely, lovely. Hey, got any Moby Gone? I'm sick of cutting this thing.
Ortho, you're working too hard without us.
For the ABC Information Network, I'm John.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Shell. Now it's the new Formula Shell gasolines at the newly remodeled 117 Auto Truck Stop. Shell's cleanest burning gasolines, including the 93 Octane Premium. You can enjoy the most delicious food in the family restaurant and many other services such as LP gas service. Buy just the quantity you need. See for yourself the newly remodeled 117 Auto Truck Stop. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now serving you with the finest Shell new Formula gasolines, Highway 117 and South George Street, Goldsboro. A service of Dumas Oil Company.
We got an early visit from summer across the area yesterday, and it looks at this point as if the unseasonable temperatures are going to stick around at least into Thursday. The forecast for this afternoon, mostly sunny skies, a west and southwest breeze, highs reaching 85 to 90 degrees, then mostly clear overnight with light winds, lows dropping into the low 60s. And for Wednesday, partly cloudy skies. It'll still be plenty warm tomorrow, highs again reaching the mid-80s to near 90. At the Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Mike Moss.
Conversationalists and good friends all across the fruited plain. Got another hour of broadcast excellence dead ahead right here on the Rush Limbaugh program. Glad you're here.
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America Held Hostage. And now from our studios in New York City, here is Rush Limbaugh.
It is day 462 today of the raw deal for the poor and the middle class. Today is day 481 of America Held Hostage for the rich and the dead. 1,004 days of floundering, indecision, and ineptness left to go. Phone number 1-800-282-2882. Last night, I wanted to find out about the NFL draft. I love football. I love when the NFL draft came along because it got me, one step closer to football season. I love it more and more every year. I decided to look up some draft choices of some of my favorite teams. And I looked up the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the Steelers are my sentimental favorite team. But I have developed a whole bunch of other semi-favorite teams. in the past couple of years as I've gotten to know people from different places around the National Football League. That's one of the most fun things that I do. I know baseball season's only just begun, and I'm already looking forward to Labor Day, which is the opening of the NFL season. Heck, I'm looking forward to July 15th, which is when training camp opens. I'm looking forward to the 1st of August when Hall of Fame games played. I'm looking forward to all those meaningless preseason games played in Mexico City and Barcelona and all. I found the most amazing thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers' first-round draft choice. The leading wide receiver, according to the scouts, in the draft was a guy named Charlie Johnson from Colorado. Just listen to this story. That Johnson played even college football, much less was a first-round NFL draft choice, is a remarkable story. He's met his father only twice, and his mother, who once abused drugs, only rarely was around as he grew up in San Bernardino, California. Charlie Johnson lived in 15 different homes during one 4-year period, and he often cared for his little sister Christine by himself. The two sometimes ate little for days at a time, mostly Snickers bars and milkshakes, and their home once was a welfare hotel. There were no real meals to speak of, Johnson said. My mother forgot all about me. I once asked her, what do you want, me or drugs? At 15, living in a stripped bare storage room in the basement of a relative's friend, Johnson tried to commit suicide. Despondent that his mother used $20 he had saved for shoes to buy drugs, he swallowed more than 50 pills. He lived only because his sister saved him. Now Charlie Johnson, who graduated from Colorado in just 3.5 years, will use some of his NFL paycheck to send his sister to college. My whole attitude changed my junior year of high school. My coach, Chuck Pedersen of Cajon High School, helped turn me around. He told me colleges would come asking about me, but I didn't believe him. And he does now. What happened to me wasn't so bad, Johnson said. I could have been dead. Now, you contrast that with a story that's in USA Today about the whining of Generation X. Whiners do have real complaints, genuine problems with difficult changes in the economy and society. It is said by experts. And I have little patience. You know, we have spoken on several occasions here of why so many people have so much time on their hands in this society. See, I think there's a lot of boredom in this society, and I think that's why the daytime television talk show, the Museum of Modern American Societal Decay, has become as popular as it has. It's because there's so many people with so much time to watch the misery and suffering of others. And it takes some solace that, hey, my life's not as bad as that poor jerk who I just saw on Oprah. You look at the Generation Xers, look at these kids who say that their lives are empty. They probably all have cars, or most of them. Probably all got a phone, probably all have a TV set in their room. They don't know what suffering is. They don't know what real hardships are. Do you know how best to typify Generation X suffering? I will never forget this. I've talked about it before. I'm sure you could come up with other examples. I'm watching Donahue one afternoon, back in the days when I was bored out of my mind and didn't have enough to do. And Laura Dern, who at the time must have been 17 or 15, I forget. It was a panel of sons and daughters of famous people, actors and actresses. Laura Dern was on, and she broke down and cried because people didn't understand the pain, the fear, and the suffering that her generation was growing up with because of the nuclear threat. You just don't understand what it's like. We grow up every day knowing we could all die tomorrow. We could be annihilated tomorrow. She's a young kid. At the time, she can be excused her immaturity. She can be even excused her ignorance, given her age. And she can be excused all this because she was surrounded by a bunch of people who thought that was truly a calamitous possibility. They thought that it was a real possibility because Ronald Reagan was in the White House, and so her views were shaped politically. Look at her life. You talk about a charmed life. Laura Dern no doubt had, in terms of material wants being satisfied and creature comforts being taken care of. She had a charmed life. And it has been my contention all along that the real suffering of recent generations was done by the World War I and World War II generations who went through the Depression, fought 2 wars, beat back enemies who really would have ended America had they been able to. And that the youngsters of today really have it pretty easy compared to their parents and grandparents. Now, I know that times are relative. I know, for example, my parents used to drill it into my head about saving money. You've got to save money, you put it away, and all of this. You should have heard how my dad advised me to get along with my employers. It was all based on having lived through the Depression, where a job was like gold, regardless what you get paid. And you did anything you could to hold on to the job. And because of the Depression, you saved every dime you could, every dime you made. Well, you know, I'd say to him, I didn't live through the Depression, Dad. I don't know what that's... Well, son, let me just tell you that if you ever do, you're going to be prepared. Once a calamity happens, parents always try to prepare you for it happening again. And I had my own set of troubles. I had my own set of things which made me unhappy on occasion, my own set of circumstances which made me miserable. And I'm not suggesting that these kids and the youngsters today of the so-called Generation X are not... that they ought to be... I'm not suggesting they ought to be running around in euphoria. But there's a lot of whining going on, and I believe that there is a required amount of hardship in life that you must go through in order to appreciate good things, in order to appreciate success, in order to appreciate achievement, in order to appreciate triumph. You have to have experienced certain degrees of the opposite of each of those. But if you pretty much have what you want when you want it, be it drugs or a car to drive to school or a pair of jeans or the latest sneakers or whatever, you pretty much have what you want.